friends, and welcome back to A Peculiar Project, and more importantly, welcome to 2019. It is the 5th day of the new year, so if you are like me, you might be thinking about your writing goals, what's realistic, and how you're going to meet those goals, what you want to really accomplish this year. For me, I have a new baby. She's 9 months old. She's crawling all over the place, and so it's really hard for me to get anything done while she's awake. She requires a lot of attention, but that doesn't mean I won't be working. So I have set up a schedule for myself to work during her naps and work in the evenings because that's the time that I have. So it does mean that my time is more limited and my goals have to be adjusted a little bit for that, but there are still things that I will accomplish this year. And that's just, you just have to power through and get it done. One of my most popular topics when I speak at writing conferences is on setting goals and accomplishing what we want to when we're writing. Specifically, I talk a lot about time management and avoiding procrastination. So that will be a theme also throughout the year on this YouTube channel. For today, I really just want to give you one solid tip for how to get your goals accomplished, how to do the things that you really want to do. And one of the most important things that I have come across in my research on changing habits and procrastination is that establishing a new habit takes more effort than we realize. You hear through self-help all the time, it takes 21 days to start a new habit. Let me tell you, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. And it's important that we know that because it actually takes on average 66 days to start a new habit. So let's think about that a minute. That's more than 2 months. That's not 3 weeks. And I think it's important that we acknowledge that. So the research that was done on this did show that the more difficult the habit is, the longer it takes to establish it. It did define a habit as an action that doesn't require a lot of energy to decide to do it. I don't know if I said that very well, so let me say it again. This is something that we do habitually, which means that you automatically do it. You automatically brush your teeth right after breakfast or right when you wake up in the morning, depending on how you establish that habit. You have a habit of either hitting snooze or popping out of bed. So there are behaviors that we do that we don't choose in the sense of I'm spending energy deciding, am I going to do this or not? We don't hem and haw. We don't go, I don't feel like it. We just do it because it's what we do. And we all have habits. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. It doesn't really matter that much in these terms. Starting a habit requires some effort. And that effort does decrease after 3 weeks, but it's not a habit in 3 weeks. It is still requiring effort to make that action every day, especially starting a new habit like writing, where you feel like it requires a lot of mental effort. It might require a quiet space or getting away from other habits or just your social life. You know, there are a lot of things that hold us back that we have to overcome when we decide to sit down and write every day that we do it. So starting that habit will take you probably 66 days at least. And I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm saying that because what's important here is that we understand that you are not a failure if you aren't feeling like it's automatic that you sit down and write after 3 weeks. This is very normal. This is the way habits are. That's the way it should be. This is something that's important to you, so it takes, it deserves that effort, I guess is what I want to say. If it's important, then it's worth putting the effort in, right? So my biggest tip for you is to be forgiving, to be loving and caring towards yourself. To be forgiving in the sense that you should not beat yourself up if you miss a day. You should not feel bad if it takes you a long time to wind yourself up for writing, if you feel like it's taking a lot of effort for you to get into the mood or to just make yourself do it, you feel like you're still forcing yourself, that's okay. That's natural. That's normal. So forgiving yourself in the sense of just recognizing that it is difficult, and it doesn't mean that you're not truly a writer or that you're not truly committed, and it doesn't even mean that you don't want to do this. You can want to write and still find it difficult. Also forgiving yourself in the sense that if you do miss a day, you just say, oops, and do it the next day. No dwelling on the negative, no negative self-talk saying that, I screwed up, I'm never going to be a writer. You are a writer if you're writing. You are. And so you just sit down and do it again. And those 66 days that it takes to start a new habit, those include screw-ups. Those include days that are missed. So that's okay if you miss a day. What's not okay is if you miss a day and use that as an excuse to miss another day and another day and another day, and it turns into giving up. What's important is that you just keep trying. So that's my big tip, is to be aware that it's not always going to be easy, but it is doable. It will get easier the more you do it, but it does require effort to make yourself sit down and write every day. For me, my goals do involve writing, but maybe not a big word count every day. I will be sitting down to the computer and writing some every day. It just depends on, well, what the baby allows me to do, how long her naps are, and what other chores have to get done. But I am working on writing and working on editing a story that is just about complete. So one of my goals is to truly finish that story and get it submitted to the editor that's interested in it. And then also I have a few other short stories that are unpublished still, and so getting those submitted out, always out. They should never be just sitting here with no one looking at them, right? So anything that I have that's written that I feel is publishable level, I want it to be out and submitted. We'll talk about tools for finding places to submit this year, and we'll also talk more about just getting over the rejections, because that is a part of the writing life. And you can turn it into a big deal, or you can shrug your shoulders and say, oh, well, that guy didn't like it, the next person will take it. We'll talk about that a lot more this year, because it's something that I'm doing, it's something that a lot of writers are doing, and I don't see too many people talking about it. It comes up in Twitter, but I don't see many YouTube videos focusing on it, so we'll talk about that too. And my next video will be editing. We'll take a look at some common mistakes that I'm still seeing, and we'll get going on that front as well. So I hope you all are just as excited about 2019 as I am. I believe this is going to be a great year for me personally and for my writing career, and I believe it will be a great year for you too. I hope that you feel the same way. Welcome to the new year. Cheers.